ban me
Absolutely not.
from Briggs.
No. Yo, what is up, boys? How's it going? And welcome back to another episode of the Rant Cafe Anime Podcast. We're doing it again, boys. We're talking about anime. Who would have thought? Not me. All right, with me today we got Jordan, the anime dude. What's up, dude?
What's up, everybody? How you doing today?
And this dude made us watch Oreimo.
Yeah, we can talk about that here in a bit. I plead the fifth.
Okay. And we also have Recon, the king of bad taste. What's up, man?
What up, guys? It is good to be back. The name's Recon, and we're here to suffer once more with, the trash that we recommend to each other. So, yeah.
All right, king of trash taste. I'm coming for your title one of these days. No.
Jordan's coming for it, man. He really is. On that note, talking about bad taste, Recon did not do his homework and did not watch Berserk.
Yeah, about that.
We also forced him to watch Kengan Ashura, so we're going to say that is his pick, I guess. And then I'm Briggs, guys, and I recommended Devil May Cry, and I watched the entire thing, and we'll talk about that right now, actually. Devil May Cry, what did you guys think?
Let's go. Recon,
It was okay.
Go first on this one.
Now you go first.
Okay. So I never knew much about the old game or the old series. I just kind of knew it existed. I knew it was a thing. And I talked to a couple fans that did enjoy that old stuff, and they weren't really a big fan of this series. But they said that people that are coming into it new will like it. So that was like the only preconceptions I had prior to going in. I went in pretty blind. Those first 3 episodes were fun. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a good time. It had a good mix of like comedy, like Dante's style of comedy kind of rolled with me. It had some good action. It had a little bit of everything, to be honest. And just in those first 3 episodes. And more importantly than anything, like what stuck out to me as I watched it, was Dante's mom kind of has it going on, bro. She stole the show for me. Like we got like the best waifu of that anime season already like determined. It's great. So yeah, I don't have too much to complain about with it thus far. I've only seen those 3 episodes though. Been having some internet issues. So.
Fair. Recon, thoughts on Devil May Cry?
Right. So, as a person who has played almost all the Devil May Cry games on Xbox and PlayStation, and the most recent one, Devil May Cry 5, this was very okay-ish. It just my issue is that it didn't really feel like the Devil May Cry that I truly wanted. Dante is like one of the most perfect, greatest fictional characters in gaming history, and for him to be here, it's awesome. But he wasn't the Dante that I knew from the games, and he had so little screen time because, from what I got from this series, he's not really the main character. Even though he's cool and badass and he uses dual pistols and demon hunts and yeah, he's good looking and shit, but he wasn't really the main character because the main characters were, I think, Lady and the White Rabbit.
I think I would say he's more or less the main character, but they followed other characters quite a bit because there's a lot of moving parts with Dark Kong.
They followed Lady and the White Rabbit more and showed their backstory and shit, which was interesting. But I really wanted to see more of Dante. He was more or less mostly in the middle and less in the beginning and at the end.
Got it.
But
so is the guy that didn't finish it yet? Is there going to be like a season 2? Is there going to be more of it? Because it's only like 8 episodes, right?
I genuinely have no idea.
It does seem they ended it in a way that there will be a season 2. I will say I have my issues. I didn't play the games, so I'm not going to be critiquing little things that they changed about the characters or his weapons, like his guns and stuff. There was a lot of like little nitpicks I saw online, which completely understandable. I watched the Lilo and Stitch live action. I'm like, why is that guy's voice? Why does that guy's voice not sound cool and have an accent? And what happened to Bubbles? Oh wait, no, Bubbles is coming later. Like I'll nitpick little things because I'm a fan.
Where's Captain Gantu? Oh wait, he's not in the movie.
Anyway, but there are some positives. Episode 6. I know we weren't technically required to watch all the way to episode 6. Episode 6 was one of the best pieces of cinema and direction I have seen in a long time. It was not a single word was said for 25 minutes in the episode. It was fully an AMV this episode, telling two backstories, transpiring at the same time, people being shaped by their surroundings, and seeing the darkness and like the light of both worlds in a way, just to be crushed in the end. And it was just like, I'm trying to speak very vaguely, as you guys can tell. I'm like trying to speak very, very vaguely. I want them to experience it and enjoy it without like going into what exactly happened. But it was absolutely gorgeous. I think the White Rabbit is an amazing villain and character. And the choreography of some of Dante's fights, some of them were like CGI and shit that looked ugly and bad. Some of them were top tier choreography. The music always hit. I think my one complaint was because they only had 8 episodes, sometimes it just felt like, hey, we're going to tell you all this stuff real quick. So the opposite of episode 6, some other episodes, like episode 1, the first half, they're like, let's drop all the lore, all the plot, all the story real quick so we could get into the thick of it, right? And they did that then. They did it one other time where I'm just like, they probably didn't have to just give me dialogue for the last 2 minutes just to catch me up with what's going on and like explain a bunch of stuff. They could have showed it or did it in a more interesting way. That's my one complaint. But I will say, episode 6 makes this series just worth watching.
Okay.
Just episode 6 breaks, really? Almost every episode was 30 minutes. It was kind of dragged on, but the action was solid.
Did you watch episode 6, Recon? Did you get that far?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was,
I watched it all.
Finished it, right? Yeah.
I finished it, yeah.
I think the reveal for the rabbit was good. I think like there was so much. Don't spoil Recon for Jordan.
No, I'm not gonna spoil
I
for
think
Jordan.
even the ending, the twists and turns towards the end were quite good. I like Lady or whatever. Maybe her name was Maria, but Dante called her Lady.
Mary, Lady, whatever.
I liked her as a character quite a bit. Watching her like struggle, her hatred for demons, her struggle,
is
her
she
change.
The different colored eyes girl?
Yes.
That's like a demon hunter? Okay.
Yeah. She's like the police lady or whatever. Like
yeah.
That one.
There was also a twist at the end with her and Dante, and stuff happened at the end, which I wasn't like. I feel like I still need to process what happened, but I think there was certain moments of development for her as a character that I really appreciated.
Virgil is my favorite character. I don't know. He wasn't there much, but like he's just one of my favorites, especially from the games. I am the star that is approaching.
Yeah, there's
Like, if you
definitely
guys play the games, if you guys play the
Virgil
games,
the brother or no?
Virgil's a
Yeah,
brother,
it's his brother. Yeah,
Okay.
Dante's
So
brother.
I will say that's where I ended off is as I love how they did that reveal because it's very subtle, right? The end of episode 3, the shapeshifter that had turned into his brother says, "Oh yeah, I can only turn into somebody else like if that person's alive, right?"
Yeah.
So like that was such a subtle little drop where I'm like, "Oh my god, okay, like I get what that implies." Like it kind of spells it out for you, but it doesn't say it, right? So I don't know. I love the show not tell type of storytelling.
Yeah.
And I will say I remember critiquing a little bit of the first episode too, where it's doing an info dump, but I'm like, we probably need that a little bit, right? Like there's a lot of series that do that. It's a very common sin. But hearing you talk about episode 6 gets me excited then, because I love it when they take that show not tell and they do it to an extreme. And some of the fights up to this point were also really good. You got the episode 2, they had a fight where they jumped him. I don't agree that I feel like they should have tried to talk it out first. Maybe try diplomatic reasoning, like, hey, can we borrow that real quick and then give it back? Or
Talking about when
right?
they were tasked with taking back the amulet, right?
Yeah. So, but they all jump him. They're fighting in the dark, and I feel like that was such a cool little action scene. A little cheesy at times, but like, whenever you have a character that can take a gunshot and it's not fatal, it makes it to where scenes like that feel less cheesy in a way, because he does get shot, right? Like he takes like a shotgun shot through like the
he
stomach.
doesn't die.
Yeah. And
Do you know why he doesn't die though? Do you know much about Dante though, Jordan?
Yeah, I think it's kind of.
Do you know what he? Do you know what he is?
He's like half demon, right? Because his dad's the
He's
like it implies that his mom was banging. Oh, what's his name?
I think the word is Nephilim. I think
Sparta,
he's a Nephilim. He's a Nephilim, so he's like half demon, half angel, and he's got some cool powers and shit.
Can I just say one thing about this show that's kind of great is by the end I was feeling bad for the demons and kind of want like a show that's not black and white. Oh, humans good, demons bad. they did that to a crazy degree towards the end, where I'm just like, but like, why can't they come here? I'm like, they should just come to Earth, and everyone should just live in harmony. Some monsters will come, but then we'll just hunt them. You know, that's what demon hunters are for. Like, I was like Team Demon at a point. I'm like, wait, this is kind of crazy that an 8-episode show is doing this to me.
It's weird because you can usually kind of go either way with an approach to a topic like that. But whenever the main character himself is like a half-half, I feel like that's usually when they take the approach you just kind of stated. So I've been kind of waiting for that pin to drop. But yeah, overall, that fight scene from episode 2 was good. Fight scene from episode 3 was good. They had freaking Papa Roach playing as they have like a high-speed chase, and I felt like the oddball watching that one because you know, I was reacting to it, and I'm like, do you think insurance covers like red and blue ogres just like slamming into you on the highway? And yeah, like that's where my mind was going. But at the same time, it was a crazy cool scene, right? So I don't know. I enjoyed those first 3 episodes a lot. So
you two should play Devil May Cry 5. I think you will really enjoy that if you guys want to.
I will say it made me want to dive back into like the older media just because of older fans saying that like they preferred that even more, and I'm like, I could see how this is maybe like based off of an old IP where they maybe cleaned up some aspects of it in a way that people wouldn't like. So I'm like, I kind of want to see what the original was like. I don't know. It has my interest. So it has my interest.
Yeah, I think this is one of the pretty good show. I'm excited for a potential season 2. Mm-hmm. I think the fact that I was willing to watch all 8 episodes for this podcast kind of speaks volumes as well. Even though I recommended it, I hadn't seen it yet. I recommended an anime I wanted to watch.
Yeah, I wanted to watch all 8. I still need to. I will. I'm not gonna leave this one unfinished. It's only 8 episodes, so it'd be a sin if I
next week. If you do finish the remainder of the episodes, we'll talk about it a little bit more next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, I'm down to actually let's rate it. What are you guys rating it out of 10?
I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10.
You know, I was about to say the same, but I don't want to be a copycat, so I'm gonna bump it up to a 6.9. There we go.
Perfect. Literally, my only genuinely, I think because I didn't play the games, my only complaint was sometimes they would just like say a lot of stuff so they could keep on going and get things done faster. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'm giving it like close to an 8, maybe like a 7.8 out of 10.
Okay.
Just because those last 2 episodes are just like, or like 6 and 7, I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about Oreimo.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll let you guys go on this one. What do you think of My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute?
One of the shittiest shows I've ever seen back then.
What?
The same director as Ero Manga Sensei. It literally does...
Same author, yeah.
Same author. The exact same concept of little sisters and their fetish that they're trying to fucking hide while they try to appear perfect. And yeah, it's just like, ugh. It's so meh.
Oreimo came first, okay? That's all.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not a big fan of Ero Manga, but
I know Oreimo.
I hate the concept, but I kind of ended up enjoying the first 3 episodes.
Man,
like after episode 1, I'm like, this fucking sucks. Why is Jordan doing this to me? I'm like, episode 2, I'm like, yay, she made friends. Episode 3, I'm like, the brother standing up for her sister. Let's go. Like, I'm like, it got oddly wholesome despite the concept being the most cursed thing I kind of hate.
Thank you. That's all. That's the best praise I think I could have wanted to hear right there. I'm okay with that. That's a good sum up. So
yeah, I really enjoyed watching the brother stand up to the dad for his sister, who like for the most part is like a really good person, gets good grades, like has a great like appearance wise 10 out of 10 in every aspect as like a daughter should be. But she also is like really enjoys anime, manga, video games, and of course some of them. The dad had his point too. Some of them are over 18, and she should probably not be playing that as like a fucking 12 or 13-year-old girl, right?
100%. And
so they both had their like kind of perspectives, and I don't know. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But what I liked was the brother stood up for the fact it's like, okay, you can't just tell her not to like play these things because online and like on TV people are saying that this is weird.
Yeah,
let her have her hobby. Let her have her passion. She's literally the perfect fucking daughter. Other than that.
So can I level set, I guess, a little bit on this
Yeah.
one? I hadn't seen this in like 12 years, right? Like I originally watched this when I was around like 16 or so, right? When it kind of came out in like 2010. And I rewatched it in like 2012 when season 2 came out. So like it'd been a while since I've seen this. And I rewatched those first 3 episodes, and I also feel like it just kind of held up, right? Because what originally I feel like the big appeal to this series was one, you got to put yourself in that time period, right? Is a time period where anime was stigmatized way more in general than it kind of would be now. So, so you know that, and a lot of the characters in the show are specific types of I guess you'd say archetypes of like weebs and whatnot. So for me back then, and one of the reasons I have nostalgia for this show is I actually related to Kirino a little bit. I was a closet weeb. I had a lot of stuff, or I didn't really have actually merch like she does and stuff, but like if I had an interest in a show, I kept it in the closet. Okay, nobody knew I was into anime in high school, so there's other types of weeps we're introduced to there as well with Kuroneko and Sayori and stuff like that. But I feel like it's such a clickbaity show, and that like it has this it has this topic, this genre that it covers, or like it says it's covering, and then like the first episode it starts out like little sisters being talked about in the classroom, little sisters here, little sisters there, and then it's not really talked about hardly at all in those. So I don't want to go on too much of a tirade, but those first 3 episodes, I feel like it does such a good job of kind of it's just a good show production wise. It's a good show topic matter wise, or subject matter wise, as far as like how they tackle it. Because like you said, I feel like in those first 3 episodes, he's a pretty good big brother, right? He's trying to understand his little sister's hobby a little bit. He's trying to help her make friends that have that same hobby. The dad, it slow rolls him a little bit. He's a little bit of a tsundere, but he's a good dad, right? Like it's one of those things. So I don't know. I don't want to gush too much here. I feel like I'm talking too much, but overall,
I love hearing the passion, man. I think overall it's actually a pretty good start, despite like me kind of hating the concept and being a little bit weirded out and like thing. But you know what? It is kind of relatable. I was also a closeted weeb, but I'm also a little bit of an anomaly because once I got to high school and a little, especially late grade 11 and 12 in high school, I was like, I feel like I'm a little bit of an anomaly where like I would think I was like the jock that like played sports and like worked out, but like would also for Halloween come in as fucking Goku and like wear like anime shirts.
Yeah.
So and then when I would do it, like it would be so funny because you get like these mixed reactions from like a bunch of groups of people.
Yeah. It's a weird thing, right? Especially in that time period. Because I mean, I also
did you get bullied as Goku?
Bro, who's gonna bully me?
You gotta own it. You don't really go. Exactly. So I don't know. It was relatable in some weird ways like that, and then like you said, the build up to episode 3 where it's like, the dad was kind of judging it based on the news. The brother stood up for. He's like, because parents are gonna group it all into that same thing. That's what my parents did, right? They're like, I don't understand that anime stuff. It's just, it is its thing, and he's like, you don't understand it. Don't judge it just based on what they say. And he's like, all right, that's fair. You made some good points, but this is still like a topic where I'm going to have to take this away, right? This is still 18 plus. And then even the brother's like, crap, he's completely right on this one, right? Like, there's nothing. So it has that like weird grounded approach where a lot of the topics they cover are weirdly grounded. The production value is good.
So the brother ended up so he agreed with the dad. He's like, yeah, the 18 plus games are kind of messed up, especially like the brother sister dynamic makes it even weirder, right? Of the games, and the dad.
That's why he said in the room. He's like, you don't see how this is weird. And she's like, all right, don't mix reality and games, you freaking weirdo. Like, what are you doing, right? Yeah. Like,
But then he ended up taking the blame. He's like, that's actually mine. And he's like the older brother who's like, yeah,
right.
Buddy's a little older. Of course he's going to have some like porn or whatever. But the brother-sister thing is weird as hell. And then the dad like punched him in the face. he's like, you can keep it, you asshole.
Yeah. So the weird thing about this show is I feel like a lot more people liked it universally until it got towards the end of season 2 and whatnot, right? And then like it gets a little bit weirder in some of the topics and stuff. People tend to drop the ratings around that time. But like season 1 especially, and then like the OVAs for season 1, I'm like, that's just a solid show. Like it felt like a clickbaity show, right? Like where it says it's going to be one thing, and then it's really not. It's covering all these other aspects of the culture. So I don't know. I feel like those first 3 episodes held up nostalgia wise. So
It's crazy how much the world has changed as well. Anime has become so mainstream. It's on Netflix. I worked at a school a little bit doing like some supply teaching and stuff, and anime is just so much more popular and accepted. I feel like some people that might be listening to this podcast that are younger probably don't even understand what me and Jordan are saying. Like when we
and that's why I feel like I had to level set, right? Like I was like yourself in that time period.
Yeah, at that time, like when I was in elementary school, I was scared to talk about anime and manga, and I was really into it because it was the weird thing. It was the thing that the weird kid was into. And then like it was kind of like within the show, they even talk about how it's like really not socially like acceptable. Like you're one of those weebs or otakus or whatever, even within Japan.
Yeah.
So imagine outside of Japan. Imagine outside of Japan being the one that's into Oreimo. Like it's crazy.
I didn't have to imagine, right? But
but funny enough, I feel like as I got older in high school, it was still kind of thing. But when I got older, I got more confidence. I just didn't give a fuck, right? But when I was younger, I was so worried. I was so worried in elementary school.
Honestly, like I was like a little bit worried about it, but also I just almost didn't even really want to deal with it. Like after I like switched schools, I'm like, I like a lot of other things, right? It's not like anime is my personality. Even when I made a YouTube channel, like I was on the fence. I'm like, do I want to do basketball? Do I want to do anime? Things like that, right? So it's not like it's my whole personality, but it is something I enjoy, and it's like that could be a part of you, right? And there's nothing wrong with that.
You know what's weird? I do kind of feel like even though anime has become much more mainstream, the community online isn't as like, it feels like it's smaller. And I don't know if that's reality, but like nowadays, like I think back in the day, I used to like people that weren't part of the anime community. I feel like they either thought anime was like Pokemon or porn, like or like hentai, like no in between. I feel like now everyone or most people know what anime is, but despite that, I feel like the community online has died out.
Yeah, it's weird too in that way because it's like it's almost like maybe more segmented because like people do kind of go off into their own space a little bit, and then also, it's weird. I feel like a lot of people, like myself included, right? If you don't have anybody in real life that you can talk to about anime, that's almost when you go to that online sphere to talk about it a little bit more and make friends that have that same interest. And if you have no problem talking about it to all your friends in person, right? Then it's almost like you're not gonna have that same type of demand for that, right? So
it's also
it's weird.
I feel like because it was taboo to talk about, when you would go online, you would build these niches and these like groups and stuff. And also, it was such a new thing that I didn't know a lot about. So it's like, I watched Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And then like some Naruto. I didn't know that it was anime. And then some like Bleach or whatever on TV.
Yeah.
Like I'm using these YouTube channels and these forums and these chat rooms to get recommendations because I don't even know what this stuff is. Now you can go on Netflix and be like, all these anime are fucking bangers. And just one at a time go through it.
You're not wrong. And there are weird parts to anime and stuff. One of my favorite things about those first 3 episodes of Oreimo is like how the brother, he's not really into this stuff, right? So like he has no idea. And so like when they're taking him, when she's hanging out, or he's hanging out with her and her new friend she made online, they're going through Akihabara and like they're looking at the stuff that is kind of associated with some of it. Like they're looking at dojins and he's like, what the hell? And they're like the dojins for Kuroneko's thing, it's like BL stuff. He's like, what the hell? And then like there's like a outfit from the anime that she likes, and it's like men's double XL. What? Like what is going on here? Like he was like a little bit flabbergasted by it, right? So it's like I don't know. It's very self-aware in kind of what it's doing, right? It's like poking fun at it while also kind of broaching the topic, and it's doing it in like a very high production value way for the time. Like one other thing about this show I do want to mention is the number of really good VAs and other things that are in this show is not really talked about. Like this was kind of towards the start of a lot of their careers, but like I'm not really a big VA guy, but like Kana Hanazawa, let's see, what's another one? Sayori Hayami. Like they were both really big characters in this show, and then the guy that does the main character is the same guy that does Gojo from JJK, and he does he did Moomin Rider from One Punch Man. Like they had all these big roles, but before that they were in Oreimo, right?
That's crazy.
So I feel like the production value is really well made and stuff like that. I don't know how much you guys focus on stuff like that, right? But
I feel like I don't unless it's bad.
Yeah, I feel like
when it's good, the whole thing is I feel like you're supposed to like appreciate it without overly thinking about it. It's like, yeah, I enjoyed those things, whatever. But when they stand out enough to dislike or make the show worse is when they're failing at their job, you know?
Yeah, I feel like most of the flack that this show gets will be from later, and it's the taboo of the subject matter, and then it's like, it's the fact that people liked this show, and then towards the end of season 2, like I said, they realized like, oh crap, it's not as clickbaity as we thought. And then that's whenever the scores went down a lot, and I'm like, that's fair, but you know.
So it's about who he ends up with, which is crazy. Anyway, I want to say the shit talking between Kuroneko and the sister. Also, Kuroneko is my favorite character. So good.
Oh yeah, best girl by far.
Best girl. Anyway, Recon, any final thoughts on this? You've been quiet. Any thoughts on this anime before we move on?
Nah, don't worry, I'm just listening to nearly 30-year-old men talking about little sister anime, and that's pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie.
Fair.
Yeah.
But anyways, aside from that, to end things off, to all you viewers who are watching, if you pretty much like little sister animes and, you know, the ecchi games and the brother and sister relationship and the sister teaching her brother about all these erotic games and he's keeping up her secrets so she looks perfect in school and all that, and otaku culture, then check out Oreimo. And also, don't forget to check out Edo Manga Sensei because it kind of ties in with Oreimo, and then at the end of Edo Manga Sensei, you can also see the characters from Oreimo, and they all meet up together, and like it's pretty nice and all that. But yeah, other than that, it's a pretty shit show.
Yeah, I still enjoy it. I thought at least season 1. I figured those first 3 episodes they held up after 12 years. So, but man, you know why I picked this show, right? I put a poll
Make
on
us
Twitter.
suffer.
I put a poll on Twitter with like 4 different shows, and this one won it.
Oh.
Granted, they were all little sister shows, just for the lulz. But I did it because I was like, they didn't like Bang Dream. I need to make them suffer for a bit before we move on to other stuff. And then this one won, so I got to revisit the nostalgia. I had the Blu-rays back here, so
hell yeah. Speaking of suffering,
Great.
Speaking of suffering, Recon, how did you like Kengan Ashura?
This was one of the worst shit I've ever seen. Painful. It was so difficult to watch. It is so ugly. It was probably on the ugliness level of the Berserk 2016 and 2017 version. I hate it so much.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I just don't. I don't. There's something about it. It's just I don't like fully CGI anime. The fight scenes and all of that, like, it just ruins it. They weren't good. The characters are boring. Yeah, this anime is all about fighting and becoming the best and all that, but it's like, nah, it ain't for me, man. I can't do it.
Okay, I actually love Kengan Ashura.
if you and before you continue on, I did skim through every single episode.
No, you gotta watch the episodes, Recon.
Through every single episode. You mean like the 3 episodes you were supposed to watch, or like the entire show?
The 3 episodes that I was supposed to.
Recon, you have to do your homework. You have to do your homework, Recon. This is ridiculous. The whole
I did watch, but like
the whole point of the series is we recommend anime to each other that we think for example, the concept of Oreimo is something I would never like, right? But then it surprises us with the quality and some of the things, and then we have a conversation about it. Bro, you're watching the 3 episodes for next week. I know, now we have to watch 6, Recon. You have to watch 6 for next week. You have to do your homework.
Look, I did put it on like 2 times or 4 times.
That's fine. That just enhances
go things up. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
There's a difference between skimming and I think even 1.5 is a little fast, but I'll do it at 1.5. 2x
we forgot to rate Oreimo as well.
But 1.25, 1.3, I actually love anime at that speed.
Yeah, I know he did the same thing for Bang Dream, right? So maybe we need to give him a little bit of a break from CGI anime. But
if you guys just recommend me shitty anime that I'm not gonna enjoy, this is what's gonna happen.
But you have
also,
to
we
watch
forgot to rate Oreimo.
Well, The thing is, I know there's a lot of overlap in our taste, right? But for entertainment's sake, I've tried to make an effort to like recommend stuff that I know you guys would never watch otherwise, but still has like some aspect to it that we can enjoy, right? Or like that has some redeemable aspects to it. So,
So one thing about redeemable aspects, Kengan Ashura looks ugly. I will absolutely admit, when you watch
I want to read it.
When you watch the first episode and you see Yamashita's face, you're like, what the fuck is this series? This bobblehead looking character with 3D CGI. He's looking like an ogre from Devil May Cry. But I will say, it is one of those shows that gets better and better. It's got badass fights, and the choreography of the fights is not only good, but obviously maybe there's some unrealistic things in the first episodes. But once you get to the tournament, some of the grappling and the moves are so, like, you could tell the author really cared about martial arts and
Baki better. Baki better.
I think I might like Kengan Ashura better than Baki.
Okay.
You did not just no way.
Yeah,
There's
dude.
no way you like them better than Baki.
I have not seen the Netflix version of Baki, but like based on the original version, like this reminded me a lot of that. So I see the comparison, and I think they have like some type of collaboration at some point, right? Where it's like Baki versus Kengan Ashura or something.
Yeah, they did. That
So,
was actually pretty good.
No,
That
that
was
was
way
shit.
better.
What?
What do you mean that was shit?
It
That was
looked-
pretty
it looked-
good.
Okay, because it was in 2D. It looked
Yeah,
better.
because it was in 2D and the fighting was better. You made me watch a shitty CGI fully animated show where the characters are all ugly and the fight scenes are terrible.
I don't get how we can disagree on everything. This is crazy. He's like, Kengan Ashura sucks. Baki's better. But
It's literally just the fact it's 3D, Briggs. I don't think you understand.
Yeah, I
like,
know.
But I will say I actually enjoyed Kengan Ashura. I didn't love the first 3 episodes, but I will say I got to that point at episode 3 where I actually will probably keep watching this one too at some point if I can find the chance. Not as high on the priority as Devil May Cry, but like it ended at episode 3 at a point where it felt like it was about to start, like it was about to actually start, if that makes sense, because of the turn. Like it set up a tournament, and then like that ended the 3 episodes where I was watching it. I'm like, dang, I want to keep going. So.
I will say I don't think the first 3 episodes are overly amazing. I think they're okay. It does get better, but having watched the entire series, I love the first 3 episodes. Like I appreciate it more knowing things that I know now, which isn't always the best, but it's sometimes good when you're able to look back even without rewatching and be like, "Oh, I see why they did that. That's interesting. That's cool. I know why this character was chosen for this, etc., etc."
And I love martial arts type anime, I will admit, as a big bias of mine. So one of those first big fights that we had, I think episode 2, whenever they have the actual tournament fight with the I forget his name, but the dude with the grip strength and whatnot. That fight started. The first sequence happened, and there's no commentary. I paused it. I broke down what happened, and then I unpaused it, and then they broke down what happened. So I don't like them explaining it, but like I like how on point it was. Like they basically said the same thing that I did about him kind of leaning into the punch to like to where he doesn't fully extend, to where it's like kind of cuts the power in half on the counter, right? Things like that, where I'm like, there's attention to detail there.
And you do. I think that's just the beginning of the attention to detail. That's like stuff. I will say they do that the entire series. They always explain everything.
Which I don't mind as much. Like that's an anime thing, right? That's just me being nitpicky. But yeah, like that and the fight in episode 3, they definitely go to extremes where I'm like, the fight in episode 3, man, I was like, no, he's dead. Like, what do you mean this fight's gonna keep going? No, he's dead. Like, they broke his back, spinal. Like, they did a verbal German suplex. Okay, like, it's one of those things where it takes like an entertaining thing like fighting, and the reason I enjoyed Baki and stuff like that is like it takes it to the extreme, right? It's like, what if they weren't so fragile like most humans are? What if they just kept going and just kept doing all these cool things? And I don't know. It's a fun series. I enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, it's super graphic at times, and they make things look like the injuries look really, really bad, but like they're also just able to keep on fighting. It's crazy. In regards to explaining everything, later on in the series, a character that loses in the tournament, that like lost in a way that they didn't fucking get destroyed, becomes an announcer for the tournament, so that he can explain things more technically.
Let's go. Oh man. That and like, I wonder what the 9-tailed fox aspect is going on in the episode 3. Like, it foreshadows a lot, right? Like, I feel like the first 3 episodes barely touch on the surface of like what it's hinting at. So I don't know. I wanted to watch more of this one too. Freaking internet, bro. It makes me sad.
Go watch Berserk 2016, 2017. If you guys
I don't think I
really
can
like
do
this
that.
one,
Okay.
go and watch the fucking new Berserk show. Go watch it.
I don't know if I can do it. I have Berserk's my favorite manga. Okay,
it
I
has
have so much
cool
nostalgia
fights.
for it to do it like that.
It has cool fighting choreography.
No, he's trying to get us back. He's trying to get us back. You know what, Recon? You know what? After we finish the 1997 Berserk, I will watch the 2016 Berserk and see how it transitions. I will do it.
Oh God.
I will do it.
No, fair enough. I might do the same then. I've always avoided watching that one. I've never actually watched the 2016 version. I heard the pot sound in episode 1, or like the sounded like the
that is perfect.
The sound design, and I just stopped right then and there. I'm like, I'm good.
Okay, I want to say, Recon, I may have failed with Kengan Ashura. I may have failed with a lot of other anime. You do need to actually watch them. I will say you do need to actually watch them. You can't skim. No skimming.
No, I did. I just watched it in like really fast speed.
That's fine, dude.
Ugly.
That's a better experience.
That's
but
skimming.
That's not. I'm just saying you have to watch it. You can't just fucking I'm gonna skip episode 2, watch half of episode 1. You know. But I will say, Recon, at least I succeeded with Berserk. Or I thought I did. You didn't do your homework for that either. But
I will do it for next week.
At least you said you liked Berserk. At least you said you liked 1997 Berserk, which is an old anime that doesn't look that good.
I'll do it for next week.
Okay. So episode 4 through 6 of Berserk for next week for sure. We do need to still rate Oreimo and Kengan Ashura.
Oh, yeah.
Oreimo,
So,
I'm going to give it like a 6.4.
I'm going to give Oreimo a 5 out of 10.
Okay. I actually raised my rating of Oreimo after rewatching those first 3 episodes. Like, I still have season 2, and the OVA's rated really low, but like that first.
Do you have a
season,
manga collection of Oreimo, Jordan?
I don't. It was a light novel, and I've never read it, but I have the Blu-rays right here. So. I try to like get a lot of the anime I've seen on Blu-ray if I can. So this one's out of print.
If you want, Jordan, I can recommend you a whole bunch more of Little Sister anime if that's what you're into.
I've probably already seen them all, you know. But see, you got to be I don't know. There's certain qualities to it that are very important, Recon. Okay, mm-hmm. As a connoisseur of anime in general, like the Rent a Girlfriend mangaka, right? Like he has a new series that's airing this season, right? And people try to recommend that one to me, and I'm like, no. What do you mean? Like that one's awful. One, they're all adopted. Okay, it's only good when they're blood related, Recon. All right,
that's fucked.
Okay, that's crazy.
No, I'm kidding. But that's a quote from the Alia Hides Her Feelings in Russian anime that was recent. That line cracked me up where they're going off about that. But yeah, I don't know. What were we talking about again? I started rambling here.
We're giving our ratings for Oreimo.
Oh yeah, I think I had it at like a 6.5 or 7.
Nice.
But
okay, what about Kengan Ashura, guys?
I'll give that a 1 or a 2. Garbage.
No.
This is so sad.
I'm gonna give it a 5.5 for those first 3 episodes, but I see the potential. I see the vision. Okay.
I think
I want to read it.
For the first 3, I'd probably give it like a 5, like a 6 maybe, like 5.5. Like it's nothing crazy, but I am a big fan of Kengan Ashura, guys. I would recommend it to people watching.
It's one of those where like you could tell it's setting up stuff, right? Yeah. I'm actually excited for the tournament because tournament arcs in anime are underrated. Okay, tournament arcs are some of the most hype arcs, especially with like martial arts and stuff.
I think like the next 2 seasons, like the next 30 plus episodes is literally just a tournament. Like the same tournament. Like they did a couple Kengan Ashura matches, but there's a tournament coming up, and I think literally the rest of season 1 and all of season 2 is just the tournament.
Okay, that makes sense to me. So. Did you ever watch the original Baki prior to the Netflix one? Like,
I did.
Because I think the Netflix one like continues it, right, or something.
Yes, it's after he like wins one of the tournaments.
Yeah. So season 1 was pretty good for the original Baki. I haven't seen it forever, but like season 2, like the whole, I didn't finish season 2. I think I almost finished it, but like the entirety of what I remember, it's like all a tournament. Like the entire thing is just a tournament. And I'm like, oh my god, this thing just keeps going. It was fun. It was good, but
yeah.
Tournament arcs.
I really enjoyed the original Baki as well. I think the Netflix Baki is really over the top and still very fun and good. It's just not I didn't like it as much. 'Cause I always appreciate like more of like an underdog coming up, growing up, which like original Blocky, he was a beast, but like he went through a lot of different training and stuff. Netflix Blocky is like he's already the champion, and there's already all these strong characters that we've met, and then they just introduce a bunch more strong characters and they're like fight.
As I said, the original Baki, like they introduced him, they're like, he's a monster for his age. Like you look at all these workouts he's doing and stuff, but then like there's so many monsters in that show with like his, his dad being like the main one, Yujiro Hanma. But
Yujiro Hanma is the biggest like beast in anime, dude. It's crazy.
Dude scares me.
Buddy stopped an earthquake with his fist.
Scares the U.S. military.
Yeah, they're like,
Chuck Norris quaking in his boots.
We're going to war. We'll just drop Yujiro Hanma in the forest. They'll take care of it. Who needs a nuke or a tank or a missiles? We'll just drop Yujiro Hanma into the battlefield.
Oh my god. Forgotten Star? That's actually a good recommendation. I might have to change what I recommend here.
Do you guys know what you want to recommend for next week? Recon, do you have any ideas?
Yeah. Have you guys seen Wistoria's Wand and Sword?
I have not.
I have not.
Great. That is the anime that I want you guys to watch.
Is that the Mashal one? Like similar to Mashal?
Yeah. It's very similar to Mashal. It's called Wistoria's Wand and Sword.
Jordan, do you have any ideas?
I'm torn. Do you guys want something good or something maybe just like a little bit more?
That's up to you.
Fun?
You either you make us watch something good or you make us suffer. It's up to you.
Fun.
Okay. No, I'm not gonna do CGI this. Oh, okay. Fun. All right. I'm gonna do with the recommendation I just saw in the chat then, because I did enjoy this series more than I think most people. But it's an isekai, okay, and it's called Kamikatsu.
Seen it.
Oh, you've seen it? Okay.
I have not seen it.
Working with a god in a godless world. I've seen that.
Yeah, I figured that one might be funny just because there's CGI in it, and the CGI is done bad on purpose. So I
it's pretty hilarious.
Recon, but okay, I'm gonna go back to my original thing then. Okay, I'm gonna recommend something good. So to make sure that you guys appreciate the production value that goes into different anime and stuff, I'm gonna recommend an anime about making anime. So I know we fell a little bit short with with the anime about making manga, because Recon doesn't read manga, he doesn't like manga, etc. So what about an anime about making anime? Shirobako.
Ooh, Shirobako. I've heard good things about that.
It's really highly acclaimed. I enjoy it a lot. It is stressful because it literally does feel like they're just working. So like I'd get home from work and I was already stressed at work, and then I'm watching them work. And I'm stressed there.
Works. Okay.
Yeah, it's an anime original. So like PA Works does a lot of anime original stuff.
When was
very
this
high quality.
2014 is when it started. I started in 2015, so yeah, I could definitely check that out.
Shirobako is a good one. I'm gonna go with that then.
Oh, I've seen this. I've seen a clip on this on YouTube with the girl dancing, and she's saying like she's saying it in like different numbers and in different languages.
Yeah.
I've seen that clip of her dancing. Yeah,
it's not in the first 3 episodes, but so
I've only seen that clip of her. I'm like, that's
3
cute.
episodes and that clip. It is adorable.
How do we decide? I was like, that's really choice. Cute. That's right. We're gonna do chat's choice.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to decide chat's choice.
Are we doing chat's choice, or are we making Recon watch Berserk? Because we don't want to overdo it.
Yeah, we can't overdo it. Recon, you're watching 4 through 6 of Berserk. That's right.
Okay.
I don't want to. Sorry, chat.
I mean, if you want to make another recommendation, sure. I'll make sure to watch Berserk.
We can't overdo it, but let's just definitely watch Berserk, please.
Okay.
Okay, I wanna. I'm trying to think of what I want to recommend. The problem is I feel bad. I keep on like giving Recon anime he's not interested in at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I did Devil May Cry this week, which was not bad. But I also did Kengan Ashura. I got 2 picks last week for some reason.
I know, even though I've already seen Devil May Cry.
Oh, you had already, but it's new. It came out like a week ago or like 2 weeks ago. So
I've watched it when it was released. I watched it when it released.
Recon watches new stuff.
Well, Kengan was chat apparently. Kengan was chat.
It's up to you what you want.
Ashita no Joe?
A what? Ashita?
Is that what it's called?
Is that Ashita no Joe? Is that what you're recommending?
Ashina?
I don't know.
Ashita
Oh,
no
Ashita
Joe.
no Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the original. It's a very old sports anime, boxing wise.
It came out. The manga came out in
Oh.
Older than you.
1968.
No!
The anime came out in 1970.
No, please.
I will say,
no, I don't want to watch
this
a
looks
90s
so old.
fucking
Even I
show.
struggled trying to watch the first episode of this one once. So
This looks like garbage, man. I can't watch this. Something else.
I'm
Something
gonna
else.
test you on episode 2, 13 minutes in. Recon is gonna hate it. I feel bad.
Are you
I
sure
can't-
your decision is Ashita no Joe? Like,
I'm
do you
trying to
really
think of an
wanna talk about
alternative. I'm
this?
trying to think of an alternative right now, but I can't think of
Who
one.
who the hell wants us to? Who the hell wants us to watch and talk about this show?
I
Come
kind
on.
of just want to watch it. I've never watched it before.
79 episodes. Also, oh my
it's a
god.
classic.
They reference it in so many anime. They always reference Ashita no Joe.
In Bakuman, that's the main character's. That's an anime about making manga, or a manga about making manga. That's the main character's favorite series that he always like looks back on or like draws inspiration from. Is Ashita no Joe, just a classic.
Anything else I can? No, we're gonna do Ashita no Joe. As you're
The variety.
mumbling. We got a lot of variety this week, guys. We got a lot of variety. You're
Ashita
lucky
no
I didn't
Joe.
recommend Astro Boy.
We're working our way to it.
But yeah, 1970 is crazy.
Shirobako, and what was Recon's again? On
Wistoria's Wand and Sword.
Wistoria's
I'm
Wand and
excited for
Sword.
that,
Okay.
actually.
That's one I have not heard much about, so I just know it's a little bit newer, right? So,
Came out last year, so it's fairly new.
I'm sending Recon a picture of his anime that he's watching next week, Astro Boy.
Oh god.
so Recon, I guess before we wrap it up, which do you hate more? Like really old anime that's 2D or CGI? Like
Ooh.
you can't be hating on both too much. You gotta have a
I hate
hierarchy
anime
here.
that is like fully CGI and ugly looking, and I hate old looking bad quality anime. That's what I can't watch.
This is so
Okay, but you
insane.
can't choose both. Which one do you hate more? You can only hate
More?
one.
I'm trying to appease the references a little bit, but like
If I really wanted to hate something more, it would be fully CGI anime.
okay.
This is a picture of what I sent Recon that he's gonna watch next week. Astro Boy.
We're becoming cultured. We're learning about history.
I'm gonna
here.
try and find an anime with no words. That's in. It's like we're gonna watch a black and white, just Japanese film.
Oh,
my
god. The OGs.
I
Kimbo the
swear,
White Lion.
if you guys make me suffer this much, I will recommend something that you guys won't like.
Should have done it next time.
Oh,
Anyway.
gosh.
I hope everyone enjoyed. Remember to check out the Anime Dude and Recon, Anime Recon on YouTube and Twitch and other platforms, Twitter.
Let's go.
It's been a pretty good episode, guys, and I'll see you all next week, okay?
Sounds good.
Shinpaku!
Bye.
Bang!
Yeah.